All right, welcome back to another In the Garage. I'm Kyle Smith with Hagerty, and today is day number 3, that's Sunday if you're counting, of working on this 79 Chevrolet pickup, and we're completely changing the attitude. This is one that Brett, who's been working with me in the last couple videos, found on the side of the road and kind of just had to have it. He saw some potential in it, and so did I. So what we've done so far, we went ahead, changed the grill out and changed the bumper just a little bit, installed drop spindles on the front end, and today we're wrapping up the back axle by doing a spring under axle kit to lower this down about 5 inches. Here's the parts that we're going to use and how we're going to do it.
All right, so we've got a package here from Western Chassis. So this kit takes the axle and it flips it above the leaf springs. It's currently sitting below the leaf springs, which gives it a higher ride height. We've got this kit with U-bolts and a couple of brackets, and what it's going to allow us to do is tape the leaf springs and put them underneath the axle, fresh U-bolts, and then we have this locator bracket that's going to sit on top of the axle.
The old crusty U-bolts that are definitely not going to give up without a fight. We're just going to cut those bad boys right off.
Okay, so I was underneath the pickup truck and we actually had a grinding wheel disintegrate on us. Make sure you wear safety equipment. You're wearing, you're always keeping your face covered, at least at the very minimum. You're wearing safety glasses. You're wearing your gloves so that if something like this does happen, the spinning wheel of death here doesn't actually become the literal spinning wheel of death.
So part of the whole premise of this truck is a relatively cheap transformation, and you can have a budget, really cool cruiser. And you might be saying you're putting a decent number of new parts and stuff like U-bolts is not necessary, but the reality is these are cheap, and reusing these crusty parts, trying to get that bolt off and back on, all these threads are super rusty and screwed up, and it's just not safe. It's not a smart thing to do for the cost of U-bolts, and they're traditionally going to come with your kit. There's no reason not to do them. We're going to cut the other side off and get right back to work. We should be able to lower the axle down a little bit and get the leaf springs out of the way. So we've got the axle free from the leaf springs. We're going to go ahead and unbolt the 2 leaf spring eye bolts, and we should be able to remove the entire leaf spring and then jack the axle up a little bit, figure out the positioning of our flip kit, get everything set up. So we haven't managed to damage anything yet, which really helps, but hopefully this goes smoother. Progress? Hey. All right, made a bunch of progress. We got the axle actually hung underneath the truck now, so the springs are in place. We fought the hardware to get it in place. Now we just have to get the U-bolts over, mounting plates on the bottom, get the pinion angle roughly correct. The alignment shop is hopefully gonna help us out with that. All right, so we finally reached the point where we get to roll the wheel and tires into place. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been a long day because we had to argue with a lot more things than we were planning on. And I told you at the beginning of this video that we were doing everything with hand tools, and it ended up being a patent lie. We used the grinder a lot to fit this kit. We had to remove the bump stops. That was a ton of grinding. We had to clearance a couple other things. It turns out that the rear axle's probably been changed on this truck at some point. So the shock mounts were goofy. We had to cut up some stuff there. But grinders are fairly cheap. I highly recommend you get one. Of course, use your personal protection. But we finally get to put the wheels and tires on and see exactly where this thing's going to sit. Facts. 3 days, a Friday night, a Saturday, and a Sunday. We're pretty greasy, we're grimy, we're tired. It's been some long time. But with hand tools, a $5,000 truck, and less than $500 worth of parts, we created this sweet cruiser. Now, mind you, it still has a Smog Era 350 that's rated at like 180 or 190 horsepower, and it's a little tired on top of that. It's got some neat go-fast bits, and it sounds lopey at idle, but we can deal with the horsepower later. Right now, it looks fantastic, and we can go and cruise it and have a great time, and we're still under $6,000. Go out, find yourself something that you like, spend some time in the garage working on it, buy a few tools. You're gonna love what you come out with. But for now, we've got to go cruise this thing. So we'll see you next week. Be sure to subscribe down below to see whatever project we're up to next.